I think one of the things that you'll hear often and throughout the show is that Grass Valley is now able to have real IP UHD systems that are deployed and working in the field. And these are not the initial incarnations of what IP was, which had potentially a core IP router, but then was made up of tons of different equipment that had to convert SDI signals to IP. So I'll speak to you about some of those, and Nirav will do the same, and then we'll finish it off with our guest speaker from Cisco. Okay. So first off, over the past several years, as we've solidified our place within the Belden family, the company has really cemented its commitment to broadcast, and I'm sure you've seen that over the last few years in the way it has been organized. So now with the 5 business platforms that make up the global Belden, all of which are addressing the key markets and applications. As you see here, everything Belden does revolves around reliably moving and processing mission-critical data, audio, and video to lead the vertical markets that we serve. And Belden's investment into the broadcast industry has been massive, and this means stability to our customers. The broadcast platform is the largest and accounts for 40% of the overall turnover for Belden. But more importantly, broadcast is part of Belden's long-term strategy and has been for some time. We made the first cables that transported black and white analog television way back when, and that continues as we move towards IP and fiber connectivity also. But we do that with a very strong and strategic channel partner system around the world to capture market share within this space. So Q2, and hopefully some of you had the opportunity to listen in on our Belden Q2 earnings call, was a significantly strong quarter for Belden. Revenues and earnings exceeded analyst expectations, and Belden increased its full year guidance for both revenue and earnings for the 2016 year. This is wonderful news, and also recognition of Grass Valley was paid during the earnings call by our CEO, John Stroop, as we were the largest contributor to the year-over-year quarterly results by posting a 12% organic growth versus 2015. 1 year ago, I'm sure you all remember that we spoke about some of the macroeconomic headwinds that our industry was facing. Things like the strengthening and strong US dollar, which created problems for our international customers where their buying power or purchasing power was reduced because of their local currency being weakened versus the US dollar. But as well in this region, in the EMEA region, we had many of our Gulf state oil producing countries that had their budgets slashed because of the falling prices of oil. So that situation, I would call it, has stabilized. So that's good. It's not decreasing any further. It seems to be stable, and that has allowed us in the second quarter as Grass Valley to grow our international business by 16% year over year. So again, a great improvement there. You'll also probably remember that as the broadcast platform, we posted results of $171 million in Q1 with an EBITDA margin of just over 13.5%. So compared to Q2, again, sequentially, so not just year over year, but even sequentially, we've improved our top line revenue by $22 million and our margin by 200 basis points. So that's also a nice achievement of the strength that we've been bringing throughout the quarters within this year. And John Stroop also mentioned in his recent earnings call that he was very impressed with Grass Valley as we are differentiating ourselves from the competition, especially when it comes to our IP strategy, and due in part with some of the standards and open protocols that have been selected, but also showing that the market is finally starting to get comfortable and confident with the transition to IP technology. All right, so in addition to these very strong results that you've just seen, there's also a series of strong indicators within the Grass Valley business that keep me and us optimistic about the near future. IP system orders are now taking off with large-scale systems now on air, which we will be speaking to you about a little bit in the next few slides. But as a testament of our global reach and scale, we continue to win and deploy our solutions worldwide. Here I'm just giving a few examples. These examples go anywhere from $3-4 million to over $20 million in terms of the projects that we've recently won in the quarter. And while the industry seems to be getting back into a more, what I would call, normal spending pattern off of a weakened 2015, and is looking at future-oriented innovations, we're proud to point out how frequently GV is now recognized for our contributions in the industry. Along with the more than 1,100 patents that make up our broadcast platform alone, and the 21 technical Emmy Awards that Grass Valley has won over the years. In 2016 specifically, so far we've been recognized by several prestigious organizations. I just want to name a few. So the first one that we're really proud of is SMPTE has just awarded the David Sarnoff Medal for Achievement in Development of New Techniques to our very own Dr. Peter Senton. Peter is part of our Breda camera team, and he was the first several years back that had proven that CMOS technology could be used in a professional broadcast application, specifically for areas of sports and live events. When everyone was talking about, no, this could only be done with CCD technology, Peter said, no, we can make it happen with CMOS. And it offered a more cost-effective solution for producing, content in very high-level applications. As well, SMPTE has now, and I know many of you, especially here in Europe, know our CTO, Ian Fletcher. Ian is like the father of automation and playout, especially in the UK. And Ian has now been given the Fellow Award within SMPTE. TV Tech, Best of Show NAB, acknowledged GV Node and our Grass Valley data broadcast center approach and the ITX on demand as key winning products to their award. And now IBC 2016, the Innovation Awards, the winners have not been announced, but we're proud that two of our customers are now in the running, if you will, have been nominated to win. One of them, Tencent, is a Chinese company that has just launched a reality TV show in China using Grass Valley product, especially our Stratus product, an asset management system. And as well, many have heard since last IBC, the VRT of Belgium has been running their full IP production environment, a 24/7 production environment for the last year, and again using Grass Valley products. So both of those customers are nominated for the Innovation Awards at the IBC, and we'll shortly know the winners during the show. And lastly, I just wanted to mention the HPA Award of Excellence, Engineering Excellence, that we've won for our GV Node product. I'm particularly proud about this one because for those of you who know the Hollywood Post Alliance, as in the name, as it says, typically they've been more around post-production and cinematography for the Hollywood market, but yet they recognize the GV Node as one of those products that can work equally as well, not just in a broadcast environment, but also in a production, post-production environment. So GV Node was the winner of the Excellence Award, and the LDX86N, our 4K native camera, had also an honorable mention. So we're really proud of these achievements and the recognition from the industry and others. Now today, this is probably the typical living room scene. I'm sure many of you, especially if you have still children at home, can relate to this. But the delivery of content and the consumption of content within the home and to people on the move is nothing like it was just a few years ago. We have spoken at previous events. I myself have shown slides of the acceleration accelerated pace of change that we are in now in the last 5 to 10 years. And this is not going to stop. Now, not only are viewers consuming the content differently, but there are new workflows in how the content is gathered and prepared. Especially when you think about news, and you'll hear about how now the largest news agency is Facebook for distributing news content. But ultimately, the goal here is to personalize the content to the user profile, to make it easier for viewers at home to see the content that they want to see, to get access to that content that they may have not even known existed. And you could imagine that for any viewer, it could be somewhat frustrating because they need to choose from, hundreds of channels and thousands of possible titles of VOD content that are available to them through any platform that they desire. So trying to personalize that content needs to start from when it's gathered and making sure that there's the right metadata and other information that then will, down the road, align that content to the viewer. Now, this time of transition forces us and our customers to ask some very important questions. And one of those questions is, what exactly is our business and what will become of this thing that we've called television for the last few decades? The answer is not simple, but there are definitely some clues. And the common thread that connects this story together is content. Content is what determines the course of video consumption. Content is the common link between what your grandmother called television and what your children will watch. Nothing else is the same. Content is what drives our business, and it's what Grass Valley has been dedicated to for nearly 60 years. Our vision at Grass Valley is to essentially empower our customers to create, control, and connect content wherever, however, and whenever it is consumed. This vision will serve to align our teams here at Grass Valley toward what we believe to be the most important challenges facing our customers, and those new companies that we will soon call customers as well. And we're advancing in this direction by aligning our business and our marketing efforts around key customer application areas that influence the content landscape. These are live production, news, and content delivery, each of which is supported by a critical underlying network infrastructure that allows each of these applications to shine in these mission-critical applications. So by segmenting our business strategy in this way, we make it easier for the market to identify the value and benefits they gain through a relationship and partnership with Grass Valley. Integrated solutions that together answer the end-to-end workflow requirements of that application and not simply a point product sale. I mentioned earlier about some real-world, on-air IP solutions deployed by Grass Valley. Well, here's a perfect example that we're really proud of. On September 3rd, just this past Saturday, Arena TV, a leading OB-van service provider in the UK, had their first on-air event with BT Sports using their latest IP UHD truck called OBX. This is a true, and I say true, IP 4K end-to-end system based on Grass Valley's glass-to-glass solution. And the reason why I make the emphasis on the word true is because all the major devices have native IP connectivity, avoiding what was done in the past with all of this conversion gear to go to IP or from IP to SDI. Cisco is at the core of this almost 3 terabit per second routing network, and with the success already demonstrated during this past event, BT Sports will be using the OBX truck this Saturday, September 10th, mark your calendars, for the prestigious Premier League match between Liverpool and Leicester City. So again, we are all very proud of this accomplishment, proving out our IP UHD solution. Again, this production is all in 4K within a demanding live sporting production environment like football. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending. And now what I wanted to do is introduce Nirav Shah, our strategic marketing leader for Grass Valley. Nirav is a little new to maybe some of you. His last stint was at Aris Corporation, and Nirav basically led the strategic marketing team there. And one of the reasons why I was part of the team that selected Nirav for the role is because, as you're probably aware, operators already today, whether it be a Comcast, Virgin, Sky and others, have already made the move several years ago to move their infrastructures towards IP and IP streaming. So Nirav brings a huge amount of experience in deploying those type of systems and making them available with the reliability, the resiliency that end user customers at home were expecting out of those IP networks.
But anyways, what I want to do today is talk about the new reality. Mark, I'm going to give you a little bit of our strategy as well as some of the dynamics that are really going into this, right? So if you look at the reality, I don't know if everybody saw the headlines today about the acquisition of Formula One, $4.5 billion. So it really identifies the content is really the driving factor across this industry. So Liberty acquired that content. They own a conglomerate. They own a bunch of broadband stations as well. So content is becoming more and more pervasive, really changing the times and the dynamics of our industry as we move forward. So, and if you also look at what Marco talked about in terms of the reality of people watching TV. So 38% less viewership is on TV right now, according to Nielsen. And most of that is migrating into those streaming platforms over IP pipes. And that's where Grass Valley is taking advantage of these transitions and working with our customers and our operator partners to actually capitalize on those. So if you look at the next slide, so this is something that Grass Valley isn't going to be involved in. So these are inflection points of key companies that have missed their opportunities during these market changes. So as Marco had talked about, we're looking at IP as that transition point. And Grass Valley is capitalizing on understanding those transitions and leveraging our heritage. So we don't become, or not going to become, one of these companies that you see on the screen here. So as Marco talked about, we're looking at create, control, and connect. I'm going to, in the interest of time, skip some of the repetitive slides that we have in this presentation and move into the specific products and focus that we're going to be looking about. But I really wanted to say that, when we look at these segments are embodying our business history and allowing us to really focus on delivering solutions across the board to our customers. So we sell switchers, we sell other components like a camera, but the value that we're going to bring, and we're going to bring to the marketplace with our LDX cameras, our switching platform, even our IPG gateways, is the ability to provide a solution. And one of the things that Marco highlighted is the ability to deliver solutions. So Arena was a perfect example of how solutions are delivered in a live production space. And we're doing that more and more. We're bringing in partners like Cisco to enable those solutions to be pervasive throughout the marketplace. So what does this mean for Grass Valley? I'll start picking up the pace here, but really, live is a core component of our DNA, right? We've demonstrated this in our coverage, not only at Arena, but also at CBS. And nothing compels viewers like live sporting events, election coverages, right? They're bringing the highest ad dollars, so it's a win-win-win across the board, from our customers, across the board, from operators, to our broadcast partners, to even the advertisers in the industry. And that's where we're providing the value across our solutions and our platform. So it used to be that you could only watch content, high content on ESPN or Sky sky sports. But now you're seeing more and more content being available because there's Class A, Class B, Class C trucks in the marketplace. And our solutions are scaling up and down across those products to enable our operators like Arena and NEP and others to be able to deliver solutions and capture the content in each of those marketplaces. So what are we doing inside of the live marketplace, right? So live works with Grass Valley because we help them manage their content, multi-format, multi-speed, and multiple needs. We do everything that they can build out easily and robustly. They can grow into the format. So if they want to do 4K, but also want to do an HD production, our cameras and switchers allow them to be able to do that. So no matter what where our customers are on the journey, we have the solutions, as Marco said, these are four award-winning products across the board to allow them to do that in the right way. So what are we showing at IBC? So again, obviously this is something that you'll see at our booths over and over again. So the LDX8610, we launched this at NAB this past year. We're also adding 4K and native HD support. So we provide the best possible imaging, something that really differentiates us across the board on that high-end camera marketplace, and something that's really, really critical as you look at live production and live sporting events. And that gives our businesses the ultimate flexibility to deliver content with whatever workflow that they're looking for. We also announced the GD Corona switcher, and we have a nice trade-in program for our old legacy products that are on that. And we're showing this for the first time at IBC now. Right, this is a full grass switcher, so what people are accustomed to, they get the same function, the same feel of a high-end switcher in the low-end panel. Right, world-class simplicity, performance, what the market is coming known as for. And now we're able to split our switchers in a small form factor environment. So when you look at mobile trucks or other operations, they really look at that form factor and the condensed size, really the most in there. And we're allowing them to be able to do that with these products. Additionally, what you'll see is our K2 Dyno replay system. Right, it's fully enhanced to support 4K mode, and no other supplier can match our footprint and manpower to be able to do that. Our competitors will require double the amount of server space that we have for our replay product right now. So that gives a complete advantage for people that are doing truck operation and looking to condense the space. And don't forget our LDX86 flagship XDR product with HDR. So HDR is the big story in the market. So we're really playing that up with our solutions and our panels this year to be able to provide not only 4K, but also to provide HDR solutions to provide operators the most seamless and easiest workflows to work with. So in news production, so this is an area that I'm fairly fond of, and we touched on this a little bit. So when we look at breaking news now, which is critically important, news is all about getting that story to market faster. Right, providing solutions that can get the content into your production house, whether you're in the field or somewhere else, and then back out to whatever platform we have. As we talked about earlier, Facebook is becoming more and more that platform of choice for the millennial generation. So we're adding that extension to our products as we go forward with our strategy products to be able to publish and broadcast onto social media platforms that capitalize on the more and more viewership that are transitioning and moving to the Facebook era. As I say in news, there's only one chance to capture an event, and if you miss it, you miss it. And our solutions are easily applicable in the field as they were in the production facility. And our job is to provide those solutions to get that content market. So what are you going to see as we talk about Facebook publishes and consumes content? I'm sure you guys all know this, right? It's also the centerpiece of the Facebook platform. And that's one of the reasons we started adding more and more social features into our platform. So this is the future of news, right? The BBC up here, right? We're in Europe right now. They're publishing onto the Facebook platform. How are you able to do that? How are you able to take your existing news stories that are in your production workflow and push them out onto your social media platform in a simple, easy push button automation fashion? So that's what you're going to start seeing on the show floor, how will we be able to do this? And we take advantage of it because our systems work better, work faster, and work smarter together. So Stratus and Ignite are two products we've had in our pipeline for a number of years. But because they work together very seamlessly and are robust enough, they can now take in stories and publish them out very, very quickly for the journalists. Right? So and also we added the extensions for Eddies. I can't forget Eddies. Sometimes I forget the Eddies platform, right? You got to edit something. So it's tightly integrated into that feature. And as you'll see in our product features, the 8.22 release from Eddies allows you the best world-class non-linear editing solution. So what are you going to see at IBC when we talk about news? So So these are all 50 guys. So you'll see GB Stratus specializes on integration, right? As we talked about ADS, but also with leading third-party products. It's also an automated GUI, an automated publishing system, so it allows you to get to air really, really quick. So Ignite 9 is something that we're really proud of. Took us a while to get there, but with the advent of the client-server architecture, we're able to speed up automation processing. We can finally say and allow a single operator to manage complex workflows and storage over that period of time, which is a big advantage. And of course, the edits that I talked about provides a nonlinear editing solution as well. So obviously, all these things you'll be able to see on the show floor, operating, to be able to deliver and bring news to market faster. The next segment we're going to talk about, we highlight, is content delivery. It's what we used to call our playout segment, right? We're bringing together the ITX products and other products to be able to bring consumers and connect consumers to content in the most efficient manner possible, and on multiple devices. Right? So obviously viewers today are fickle in terms of watching content. I don't know how many of you have kids at home, as Marco talked about. My son seems to watch 10-minute increments of content over the course of the day. Right? So our ITX platform not only allows you to publish content in 5, 10, 15, 30-minute increments, but it allows you also to be able to provide advertising and ad dollars to maximize that availability of content as well. So how do we do this? Lower cost, monetization of content, right? There's the third one. Okay. Simplifying and complex, right? So we're able to fully monetize that blog content, be able to take in, process the content while shows are playing right now, be able to do ad insertion breaks. We have the integration with Kantar Media in terms of being able to do and manage commercials and channels and the ad breaks. So we can all measure and advertise content very efficiently. And not only can we make them, we also make that very, very simple. So 24 more channels. It's easy to attract users onto your platform. So what are you going to see at IBC? Right, so we're continuing to showcase our ITX platform. It's the undisputed leader in this marketplace. We did a tally earlier. We have about 20 million hours worth of content that we're showing with the ITX platform. That's a battle-tested platform that continues to be robust and very effective over that period of time. And it's now fully SDI and IP capable, right? It's re-engineered to meet the broadcasting industry today. And then ITX On Demand, which we launched last year, continues to be quite a buzz for us. We're continuing to see more and more opportunities emerge for the ITX platform, and we're very proud of that particular solution. Right? It eliminates the complexity of wasted time and wasted operations, waiting for shows to finish before you can actually take them and play them off of the live content. So networking is our last element. As I joke with some of our people internally, I think of it as a plumbing, right? So no broadcast facility can be without the networking equipment. It's often behind the scenes, but if it's not there, you kind of lose. You have a mess, right? So what we'll see at IBC is, there we go. We'll see the innovation, acceleration, and transformation of this content. All of this really driving towards the fact that we're capitalizing on chaos and disruption in the industry. And this is where we're bringing our partnership with a company like Cisco, right? So Cisco and Grass Valley continue to help drive these partnerships to basically eliminate a lot of chaos and opportunities in the marketplace, bringing the world-class operations of multi-faceted switching with the Cisco product, with the Grass Valley automation and broadcasting platform, brings a very, very tight combination of that product in there. And as you can see, this is a term that was coined by Cisco about the digital vortex. And you can see right now, from our perspective, technology is at that middle piece. And as it was described, we're sinking faster and faster in terms of technology innovation in this vortex. So we have to be able to adapt quick. We have to bring products to market that are most efficient and scalable. We have to bring in the games process to drive interoperability. This is how we're bringing it all together with a very, very strong partner with Cisco to lead in this IP space. So I'll skip this slide because everybody understands digital development. So I want to introduce our Cisco partner here. He's going to come up and talk about the engagements we had. I want to say this is the first of many. So we've introduced an opportunity with CDS recently, working with Cisco. There are many, many other opportunities that we're starting to go down the pipeline. Marco had talked about the Arena platform. So Arena is a great example of an OB truck where we just work with Cisco to bring in our GV node products, our IPGs, as well as the Cisco routing platform to really drive and bring that to market. So I'm going to bring it on first.
What we have been doing is that we have been watching the trends, key trends in the industry very closely, and some of the key trends that we see on the screen tells us information of what are the demands of the technology. The demands of the technology from the very first event that we see on the screen is that there is a migration, and I believe that you also mentioned that there's a migration to the live streaming platform. That is very purposeful. This migration to the live streaming platform is high definition at the moment, and going forward it's going to be 4K, 8K HDR. Similarly, there is a requirement for virtual reality capabilities. And lastly, there is a huge demand for a massive scalable transport layer, because the amount of content and the scalability that this content requires is huge for the transport layer. So what is Cisco doing about? All right, so what is Cisco doing about this? Cisco is bringing IP Fabric to the market. Cisco IP Fabric enables content providers and broadcasters to migrate from their legacy SDI environment into a more scalable, open, and secure IP fabric. The important thing about introducing a new IP fabric is that it maintains the existing workflow information. It doesn't invent anything new. It seamlessly integrates into the Grass Valley broadcast system. And at the same time, it provides you with operational flexibility. It provides lower cost of ownership, and it provides visibility and security. This is possible. So this is possible through three different elements. These three elements, Cisco IP Fabric consists of Nexus 9000 switches. These are high density, high definition switches, which consist of 1 gig, 40 gig, 50 gig, and 100 gig interfaces. And then it's also based on an SDN controller for networking. And finally, there are enhancements in the software that are done to specifically for the media environment. It helps us enable service creation, simplification, automation, and virtualization. The benefits that you get from automation are diagnostic troubleshooting. Automation also provides us clear visibility, and that helps you in inventory of and health monitoring, security, and trend analysis. So not only that we have an IP transport layer, but we have automated that IP transport layer. Not only we have just automated the IP transport layer, we have made it secure, and we have made it visible. So you know what is happening in your network, and you have complete control of what streams, what flows are traversing through your transport layer, and what is the performance on that. This is done, as I mentioned, by introducing Nexus 9000, which is a low jitter, low latency platform, and that it has immense bandwidth in its cross-platform that enables those high-definition streams. So the total solution, and I think that is the beauty of the total solution that both Cisco and Grass Valley offers, is that, number one, I mentioned earlier, that it integrates into the Grass Valley workflow for the broadcast solutions, but also it provides and overlays identity services engine and security assets from Cisco that integrates very well with Tripwire, so that not only you have IP Fabric integration, but you have security integration. So again, an end-to-end workflow through an IP Fabric with security overlay along with it. Okay. Thank you very much.
So just to round out what you're going to see in terms of our networking equipment. You're going to see the GV node. So we're announcing the 1.1 version of GV node, which will be available September 16th. The 1.2 version, which will shortly follow on in the winter timeframe, November timeframe. We'll bring in some new features as well to that platform. You'll see the IPG 1.4 release that's shipping now, and then the gateway card or the 2.0 will add in the TR04 functionality down the road. And it really gives you the added flexibility to be able to seamlessly distribute signals anywhere, regardless of the workflow. You'll also see the Kaleido viewer and the GV convergent product that we've had in the market for a while, really controlling the applications there. And I think what you're seeing also between Cisco and Grass Valley, what we're doing now is we're really bringing the broadcast platform, the broadcast data center platform to life in real world examples, and we can point to those, and hopefully more of those will become more prevalent as we move forward in the next couple months.